How you guys doing? So today's video is going to be about Commander Luke team versus General Skywalker. I know Warrior did a video on this just yesterday, and he was using the little team with Old Ben, the super secret counter, right? And I don't think it's, I think it's a great team. I'm going to say that first and foremost. I think it's a great team with Old Ben, but the downside is that you're going to need Old Ben to be a high enough relic level that he doesn't die and that he still gives CLS guard. And on top of that, you're going to have to give him a Zeta or two. You need this one for sure, and you're going to need maybe possibly this one for the taunt, right? But in this team I'm going to show you guys today is just with a standard R2 team, and what really the bare minimums you need to beat these Relic 7 GSs that are top of the line GSs in my opinion. So it's this team here with CLS, Chewie, Han, 3PO, and R2. R2 is by far, probably in my opinion, one of the most important one of these, not players, characters in this game, hands down. I mean, he has all these different synergies with Droid, GR, Rebel, and Resistance, same with 3PO, but his number crunch, guys, is probably the most valuable Zeta in the game, especially when you're going to be talking about Relic levels and high Relic levels. He pretty much, this is a must-have, by the way. You pretty much need this to have any chance in CLS, or if you want to go Warriors route, just gear up your Old Ben. I think you got it that way too. But he's going to be giving out 10% max protection for each Droid ally. He's also going to be gaining 10% offense for each GR ally, and 10% max HP for each Rebel, and 10% potency for each Resistance. So the most important things in this team is the extra HP you're going to be getting with every Rebel. So 50%. Because it's going to include himself and everybody else, right? So 50% HP, and then he's going to be gaining 20% with the GR with him and 3PO, and the same with the Resistance. So 20% potency, 20% offense, and 20% max protection. And then he's going to be giving out 10% of all those bonuses to everybody that is either a GR, Rebel, or Resistance, and Droid. So everybody in this team with Rebel is going to be getting an influx, a huge influx of HP, and this is why this counter is going to work. On top of that, with all these other Zetas, you're going to probably want to maybe look into some of these other ones, maybe this other one in R2 for the combat analysis, the scoring critical hits, and then dispelling debuffs on them. But the way we're going to mod some of our guys, especially Chewbacca, I don't think you need that Zeta at all. Pretty much Zetas, though, I would probably just recommend all these other ones, like the Oh My Goodness one with the extra Confuse. Of course, Han's, CLS's lead and his It Bites All Things. And then, of course, Chewie's 2 ones on Loyal Friend and Raging Wookiee. Okay, so modding. I think modding is probably some of the most important things here. And we got a couple videos I want to show you with my team here fighting some Relic 7 GSs. I'm going to show you guys a couple with bladebacca's teams. His whole Rebels team is pretty much maxed out besides, I think, CLS and 3PO. And he's fighting a little bit better teams than I am. So I think it's a good starting place with my team, and I think it's going to show you endgame what it's going to look like with bladebacca. So with modding here, I don't have it pulled up here, but let me pull up the right mods on Chewbacca. Okay, so these were the mod sets I ran on Chewie in my couple tests, and it works pretty much, all the time. And you need tenacity. You absolutely need tenacity on Chewbacca for one reason and one reason only. You do not want this guy to get dazed at all. If he does get dazed, your run is pretty much over. So pretty much what I went for is just stealing away Nest's mod sets and just tossing them onto Chewie. So 154% tenacity, that's very, very high for Chewie. And he still remains to be very fast, 263 speed. These mod sets, I would say, are pretty dang hard to get. And I think, though, it's really, really important to farm some of these tenacity sets for counters like this. Tenacity is going to be a huge important thing here coming down the line with more debuffs on anybody. But he doesn't have that crazy of offense, so this is another good showcase of not having probably the most optimized mods, but it's still working. So Chewbacca, you absolutely need tenacity. He needs to have some BHP protection. Don't worry too much about crit damage, offense, or crit chance, although it will be nice to get an extra some of those. But that's Chewie's, and let's move on to the rest. So the second most important, I think, besides Chewie is R2. R2 is really important here. This is not even optimized mods. I would probably go for a full offense set here, like what bladebacca would go for, and what he does go for. But what I would really go for, not only offense, but you would really want to go for a lot of extra HP. I don't have crazy HP on him. I was rocking these exact mods here. I ran offense here, offense on the arrow, and then offense even on the triangle. But for all these ones, I would really go for 60 on HP stuff here, just so you can get even more HP. And offense 60s everywhere I would go for too. I mean, I don't have those right now. I could have, but for the test I didn't. So really he's at, what is this, 60k almost HP. And he's going to be getting 50% from his rebel ally, so that's 30k extra. And then he's going to spread up 10,000 or 10% of that to everybody else. So like around 9k extra HP everybody's going to be getting, which is pretty dang good, I think. Maybe that's not the right math there, but I think that's around what it will be. So on the R2, offense, speed, HP, just 3 easy things, and that's pretty much it. So next up, we're going to chat about Han Solo. Han Solo, as you get him a high relic, pretty much anybody in the game with high relics, you will have him get more HP, and that's just how it is. And that's why higher relics will make this even easier down the line. So he has around 50k HP. Everybody in this team should be somewhat fast. Pretty much, I would say, besides your CLS, that needs to be around the 300 plus speed mark. Everybody else needs to be around the 260 to 270 range if I was to say any recommended speeds. For his mods, max out CD. Try to max out his damage if possible, and try to get some extra potency here to land some extra stuns if possible. If not, then I go heavier on HP and offense, just to make sure that he doesn't die as easily to all these AoEs that GS will be doing. Next up is going to be CLS. Very fast. You want him to be very fast here, just so that he can get full TM before Rex can go, and then he can also apply more debuffs and give everybody else TM. So go for potency here. Speed, offense, crit chance, the whole 9 yards. I don't think crit damage is that important here. You pretty much just want him to be fast. If you can't get a crit damage triangle on him, that'd be great. But pretty much fast and making him have a lot of extra potency. So that's CLS. And last but not least is 3PO. You want him pretty much like a mix of an R2 and a CLS. You want him to be fast, you want him to have high potency, and you want him to have, you know, good enough protection. I would probably go for more HP though here if I would, you know, allow my mods to do that for me, but I don't think that my mods can do that right now. So right now he just has a little bit of like 40k HP, but he does get more, like I say, from his from R2's number crunch. So these are the mods, and let's get into some battles for today, guys. All right, so this was recorded on my iPad because I did it last night. I do want to get more tests and show you guys what it really is. So just rewind a little bit. So shoot first always on General Skywalker. If you guys didn't know this, that's what you got to do. There isn't too much RNG here with what's going to happen next. But Echo, you guys got to keep in mind that Echo can give a random ally 15% TM if they are lower than half TM. Which is kind of weird to say, but that's how it is. So we didn't get enough hits off to get GS lower into his cover mark. And you really want that to happen ASAP, just so that you can manage Rex. But here we go. With number crunch here, you're going to get more offense with everybody on the team. You're going to have a lot more HP because everybody's a rebel, right? But you want to go for 5s first. Going for Rex or Echo first really makes it tougher, like 100 times tougher, really, in my opinion. So with all these extra added bonuses, with 3PO being able to give all the rebels expels on basic, you're going to melt down really any relic of Rex or of 5s. It's just gonna melt them down ASAP. So now I like to save in this part. I like to save Chewie's his stun. Everybody's alive, and then they just kill 3PO, right? So this is where a relic 3PO will be extremely important here, and making sure that he never dies. You know, pretty much any relics on the CLS team, you put some relics on pretty much everybody here, and then you combine that with R2 and his number crunch. Everybody will be at an extremely high HP mark to the point where the AoEs from GS won't do anything to him. And this is with a really well modded a GS here. And we'll go into the mods a little bit later. But just show, guys, just look at this. It's just so beautiful. Everything here is just going flawlessly. I mean, yeah, the only difference in a perfect run that I would probably say is that this run, we didn't get to Rex fast enough. That was the only issue. But look, we still got the dub off, and we were looking pretty dang pretty here. So now let's move on to another one. Before I go into my other one, I want to just quickly show you this one on bladebacca. All these battles are really fast and quick to the point. So bladebacca here, he has relic 2 or 3 CLS, or no, relic 2 or 3 3PO, relic 7 R2, Han, and Chewie, and then the CLS is, I think, relic 5. So as you can see here, he is able to murder GS's protection much faster than I was able to, and we were fighting very identical GSs here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to get a stun on Rex. This is what would be ideal. If you can get a stun on Rex right there with Chewie special, and then go straight over and swap right over to Fives. Doing this makes it so he's never going to cleanse, and then you're going to kill Fives really fast. I would probably go for more basics here because you're going to inflict more exposes and just melt down the guy's HP protection faster. And then you can do AoEs here, and they're going to get some resist, more TM for you, and the train keeps on chugging and chugging along. It is such a beautiful thing to see. And guys, I think this entire counter is a lot more reliable than Padme. In my last few tests, I believe it, guys. Padme, with all those extra buffs you're going to be gaining, is just too much to the point where GS can just one-shot you if you have poor RNG that round. There are ways to go about it in the Padme counter, but in this counter, you're building up pretty much the exact same relic levels as a Padme counter, and you're still getting more consistent and reliable wins. So, just to show you guys this all the way out through, we're gonna go for BS, or for not BS. Oh my gosh, this is not a DR mallet counter, Ian. This is a GS counter. We're going for Ahsoka here. Ahsoka's gonna die here soon, with this special here on Han, and then he's the last guy alive. Yeah, you just saw that. Yeah, that's correct, guys. R2 just pretty much ate over 100. What is that? 150k damage right there. That's just how high his damage, or how high his HP is at Relic 7 level. It just is crazy to me. It's unbelievable. So now he does die, but 3PO survives this stuff, and we win pretty much. So now let's go over to one more and last final one that I did on my tests. Okay, so the last one here today, guys, is my last two of my attempts. Really, I just only did 2 attempts last night, and I recorded mine. So if there's really any RNG here, it's with this assist here from Fives. If they call in Echo to assist, there's a good chance that he's going to give out extra TM to Rex, which can make Rex go before your 3PO can go, to give out more damage to make sure that GS goes into the cover. But if you don't have that RNG and you get a little bit lucky here, you're pretty much guaranteed to win every single time. So yeah, you're going to get some extra counters. Pretty much every hit on anybody here, whenever they're going to be hitting GS, will get resisted, and you're going to get feeding everybody TM. So yeah, I mean, look at this, guys. He's already in cover, and we're going to go straight over to Fives, and then we're going to use a Chewie stun onto Rex so he can't cleanse. And then I probably should have done basic there to play it safe. You get more TM and more damage done. Probably should have done that instead, honestly. And then he's going to stun me, so we didn't get 2 Echo fast enough. This would be all changed if I had better mods and I had more relic levels on my team. But this is just going to show you guys, it looks pretty dang good and very, very promising, even with not as equal relic levels. I'm kind of underdogging this almost. So the only thing here is that with the relic levels on the enemy team, he only has relics on his GS, Rex, and Fives. His Echo isn't Gear 13 yet, and I don't think his Ahsoka is either. Yeah, his Ahsoka is not either. But I still think this would be still the same thing. Ahsoka doesn't get off too many hits here. Same with Echo, and if Echo does, his nade's not going to kill everybody because there's not enough stacking damage and offense from all the buffs, because this team is not going to gain as many buffs as a Padme team. So this is even worst case scenario. We lost our R2, we lost our Han. But guess what, guys? We still have the exposed train going, and with how we modded our Chewie to have high tenacity, he will not get dazed. He will always counter, or he will not always counter. He will always assist, and all those exposes will land. That's just how this stuff go, guys. And now we'll get into some of the guys modding on the enemy team. Oh, you know what? He just got his Ahsoka relicked up overnight, so maybe I should have waited a few hours, but this is the same team. We're going to go in and check out GS. So he modded him for speed. Interesting. Speed at 301 speed, 100k protection, 71k HP, 42% extra crit damage. His damage isn't crazy. So this guy's not modded for damage. He's rather modded for a lot of protection and crit damage. It's hard to, nitpick all these crazy specific mods that I want to fight. Maybe I can kind of see if I can later down the line, but this is just a really good baseline for this entire counter, and I want to do some more battles with CLS and see what I can really get off here. in these counters. So his Rex here is 303 speed, pretty dang fast. And then his 5s is pretty dang tanky too. Let's see here. Yeah, 87k protection, 63k HP, Relic 4, and he's got some good defense stats there as well. And then his Ahsoka, yeah, there she is. She's pretty quick. Everybody here is pretty fast actually. And then last but not least is his Echo. So maybe, I don't know. I still think this would have worked even if his Echo wasn't gear 12 and it was gear 13. So this is the battle for today, guys. These are the battles I want to show you. Again, I know Warrior did a video on this team yesterday, but with old Ben instead of R2, and I think that's a great counter, and I think it's really interesting, and I think it might be really well to work once you get those relics on everybody there. But for people that don't want to invest a relic into an old Ben type of guy, R2 is an extremely safe bet. You get multi-uses out of him, and it works just as fine, I think, in my opinion. So that's it for today, guys. If you guys did enjoy the video, give it a like, share it around, and if you guys are new here to the channel, feel free to sub. Besides that, we do a lot of different videos, you know, all that sort of stuff. So it'd be much appreciated if you guys could check in the Discords and all that sort of stuff. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later.